Welcome to Unfiltered. I'm back. I hope everybody had a nice summer, but fall has also arrived again. Hey, you can't be 8 seasons a year, right? So, hey, take it as it comes. A nice week, couple nice weeks, couple horrible weeks, couple nice weeks, couple horrible weeks. You know, I just wish it would work out so that the weekdays were horrible and the weekends were beautiful. I got no problem being in work when it's, 30 degrees out. But boy, it's tough to take when it's 80 out, every day. It's like, I think I smoked twice as much because we smoke on the front porch of the office here. So, anything just to step out of the office for that, 5 or 10 minutes. Um, but hey, it's raw and chilly. What a way to start the week, huh? All right. I hear, though, it's supposed to kind of start to warm up again towards the end of the week. But it's the end of March. What are you going to do? All right. I didn't really know what I was going to talk about this week, but a few things crossed my path. For instance, Sunday morning, right before I came down to film the show, I heard on the news that Dick Cheney is getting or has got a new heart. 71 years old. And they're giving the man a new heart. Look, as everybody that has been watching my show for any amount of time knows, here's how I feel about it. At 75, you should be, that's it. That would solve a lot of our problems. To give a guy a new heart at 71 is pushing it at best. But where I feel that people should be done at age 75, I feel politicians should be done a lot earlier. Don't give a new heart to a 71-year-old guy. Give a new heart to a 14-year-old girl that needs it. And this is why healthcare is so high. If a doctor wasn't spending 15 hours putting the new heart in some politician, I mean, that's the worst word I can think of to call him, to stretch his life, what, another 2 years, another 3 years? It doesn't make sense, people. Every day you hear about frivolous lawsuits. What about frivolous medical procedures? What about all that? This week they're going to vote, or the Supreme Court is going to take the case of the whole Obamacare thing as to whether it's constitutional. Personally, I don't think it is constitutional because you're forcing people to buy something. The way it should be, granted, this is coming from Rick Blood, the crazy socialist, whatever the hell I am. Good health, no. I'm not going to say good health, because a lot of times good health isn't a choice. Medical care. Let's leave it at that. Medical care. It doesn't matter for what. I mean, yeah, a lot of people say, Rick, you're the reason that healthcare is so expensive because you smoke, and in your older years, the cost of your health care is going to be outrageous. Maybe. Or I could just drop. Whereas, let's say somebody who chooses an occupation or, hey, even a pastime of, say, skiing, car racing, motorcycle jumping, all of those could lead to exorbitant medical bills. For what? Because you like going out in your backyard, jumping your motorcycle over crap, and boom, you're wiped out, you shattered your leg, you broke your hip, and you fractured your collarbone. How much does that cost? Needlessly. Smoking my cigarettes is never going to shatter my knee. You know, that's one good way to look at it. I don't have to worry about a lot of sports-related injuries because I smoke. It tends to keep me away from the real exertive type sports. It's just stupid. But I feel that medical care should be available to everyone equally. Yeah, my medical bills down the road may be millions or billions or whatever they are. But the only time I go to the doctors now is if I'm in serious pain or if the doctor blackmails me by holding out on my prescriptions and makes me come to see him. Otherwise, I don't need a doctor. You don't go to the doctor for every little ache and pain. You go to the doctor when the pain scale reaches 10. Otherwise, watch TV. They've got your cure. Bad back? You got Theragram paste-on friggin' back injury stuff. Sore shoulders? You got creams, medications, pills. It's the pharmaceutical industry. They take care of the little itty-bitty stuff. The doctors take care of the big stuff. And hey, people say, well, Rick, doctors pay a lot of money to go to medical school. So they deserve to own, you know, the $8 million house and the $2 million yacht and the 4 cars and all that. That's crap. Maybe what you should do is say, look, if you want to go to medical school, that's fine. Go to medical school. All your bills will be deferred till you get out of medical school. Now, here's the catch. If you complete medical school and you go into the medical industry or the medical field and start practicing, you get a normal paycheck, but your schooling costs will wipe them out for you. Because after all, being a doctor is an important job. We're always going to need doctors. Especially once we start pushing people, you know, until they live till they're 150. Because let me tell you, you think it's tough to care for somebody between the ages of 80 and 100 right now. Wait till you're caring for somebody between the ages of 140 and 150. Who doesn't go to the doctors once a week, goes to the doctors once every damn day. And that's what we're pushing for. Let's see exactly how many feet we can get on this planet at one time. It's not the Guinness record book. Although we do tend to control it with our wars. The whole population thing. You know, we feel there's too many people to care for. So somebody starts a war somewhere and we wipe out 50, 100,000 people. Like that. What the hell is the difference in that than wiping out people at 75 years old? The fact is, the war kills young people, people who haven't lived yet. My plan to kill people over 75, those people have already had a whole life. And the fact is, you can't send people that are 65, 75 years old into a war. I don't know. It's just, think about these things. Think about these things when you're paying your hospital bills. Think about these things when you're voting for your politicians. Think about these things before you go to bed, while you're asleep, and when you wake up. Think about them while you're having dinner, while you're getting dressed for work. Think about this stuff all the time and realize it's futile. Here at Cheshire TV, we lost a dear family member this past week, Pastor Ray Hodgerney. That's right, Pastor Ray Hodgerney. Gone just like that. And it doesn't make sense. It's one of the reasons I'm so cynical. And I question everything. And this type of thing makes me question God even more. People say, well, God must have had a bigger plan for him. What bigger plan is there? Ray was down here doing good work with people that needed him. And from what I understand, when he went, he went. He didn't hang on for that 3 or 4 minutes, that crucial 3 or 4 minutes for the rescue people to get there. That's what you have to realize. Every minute is precious because you never know. You never know. All right. Enough about the whole healthcare thing. You know where I stand on that. We all have the right to medical care, regardless of the lifestyle we live. And as short as life is, get out there and experience it. Take a few risks. All right. Saturday, I happened to catch just a few minutes of Cynthia and Georgina and Talkback. And wouldn't you know it, they were talking about one of my biggest peeves here in this city of Keene, where we live, is the outside service of alcohol on Main Street. And I don't know what it is about this topic that people don't understand. People were calling and saying, you know, my idea is it would be okay if you are a restaurant. And then it's the whole discussion about, well, what do you consider a restaurant? What is the food stuff? You know, how much food do you have to have? Does a hot dog qualify you? No. If I remember back when I was a kid, in order to get a liquor license, your business had to be 65% of something else. Generally food or groceries. 65% of your revenue had to come from a source other than alcohol. That makes it pretty cut and dry. As far as restaurants and food vending establishments versus bars and their need for outside seating. Okay, here is my take on what is acceptable. Cynthia, pay attention. I know you're watching. Full restaurant menu. That's all I'm going to say. That's all you need to say. What is a full restaurant menu? That's a menu that includes appetizers, salads, entrees, and desserts, as well as beverages, coffee, juice, soda, water, and tea, and milk. And to top it off, here's what really makes a full restaurant menu. A kids menu. If you ID people at the door of your establishment, you should not be able to have seating outside on the sidewalk. There. How hard was that, city councilors? Or Mr. Mayor? Or Buddy John? I know you're watching. You watch every week just to see what I'm upset about. That's how you do it. If you're a business that IDs people at the door, that pretty much separates a restaurant from a bar. Is if you would take your kid in. See? I got no problem with Luca's. It's a restaurant, full restaurant menu. I've been there. I've had his food. It's fantastic. The Stage, full restaurant menu. You can go in the Stage and eat with a kid. Margaritas, they have a full restaurant menu. Pedraza's has a full restaurant menu. The Shamrock Sports Bar or whatever it is down there on Main Street next to Domino's. You can't just walk in there with a kid. The Lob and Lager, you can't just walk in there with a kid. Kilkenny's, you can't just walk in there with a kid. There's your criteria right there. I don't know what's so hard. Hell, I graduated from Keene High. I can't be that friggin' smart. No college, but yet I can figure this out. And it sickens me to drive up Main Street in the middle of the day and see all the people sitting outside of the bars just drinking. But yet, we talk about healthy. Talk about how bad alcohol is for you. How bad drinking is for you. How you have to be so careful. You know, the same way they talk about cigarettes and how bad cigarettes are for you. Here's the answer. The answer. The answer. And I know people in Washington aren't watching me and don't give a crap about what I say. You want people to stop smoking cigarettes and stop thinking about cigarettes? Then friggin' close the cigarette companies. Pull cigarettes off the market. No, you can't do that. Why? There's too much money in it. So no matter what you think about cigarettes, they're going to be there. No matter what you think about alcohol, it's going to be there. No matter what you think about oil and gas prices at $8 a gallon, it's going to be there. Why? Because the government's got its arms so far up all them companies' butts, pulling money out. And the government likes that. So they're burning both ends of the candle. You've got your cigarette companies, your health care, boom! You either solve the problems or you deal with it. So, that's it. You want stuff gone, get rid of it. Stand up. You know, tell the cigarette companies, tough crap. You're now out of business. You can no longer sell cigarettes in the United States, so move your company somewhere else and peddle the hazardous stuff somewhere else. I don't know. Then there would just be the whole black market thing, and, you know, so how do you stop it? You know, it's been going on too long now. Okay. What else was I going to say about that whole situation? I mean, that was basically it. You know, the rules for food and alcohol are simple. Full restaurant menu, yes, you have a privilege to have cafe-style seating outside of your place. If you're a bar, no, you don't. There you go. Simple as that. So get with it, Keen. Stand up. And yes, I know it's going to make some bar owners mad. And if the bar owners get mad and make a stink, tell them, look, maybe you should have went into another line of work. Maybe you should have opened up a nice ice cream shop or a soda fountain or something. You know, something wholesome and nice. But the fact is, having people drinking on the sidewalks is a disruption. It's a disturbance. Simple fact is, once you have 2 beers, the volume of your normal speech goes up. With every drink you have, your volume gets a little louder. I don't know why. Probably because the alcohol clouds over your hearing. So you can't hear as loud, hear as good, so you speak louder. Also, when a lot of people drink, their vocabulary tends to drop a few notches, if you know what I mean. The words that come out of their mouth get shorter and more descriptive. They tend to be basically around 4 letters long. It's another reason why not to have people out on the sidewalk. If you walk past one of these establishments with your kids and you hear people sitting in the little fenced-in area talking about effing this and effing that and my mom was effing this, your kids don't need to hear that. And granted, the patrons of the establishment may not even realize that they're bothering anybody. They're just having a conversation with their friends. But it becomes a disruption because other people have to hear it as they're passing by. All right. Let me use the last 2.5 minutes I've got to talk about something else that I happened to notice this past week as I was coming back from lunch slowly up Main Street. Because like I said, it was tough coming back in. But I realized that there were no protesters on the Common. And it made my blood boil. I know it should be the other way around. My blood should boil when protesters are there. Well, my blood boils when protesters are there. But the thing is it dawned on me just how uncommitted these protesters are. If you're a protester, you don't take rain days off. You don't take nice days off. You don't take any days off. Makes me question, 1 minute they're the 99%. And what, all of a sudden the next day they're not the 99% anymore, but the day after that they are? I was thinking about getting a protest sign that said, protest with a big circle around it and a slash through it. And be out there and go, oh, I'm definitely against protesters. But I'd be the same way. I couldn't go out there every single day. I've got a job. But if you're going to protest, get out and protest. Don't just do one thing 1 minute and the next thing the next minute. It's dumb. That's all. So, anyway, if you're a protester, protest. If you can't be a weekend warrior protester. You have to have conviction every single day. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, it's about that time. Once again, Monday evening has come to 6:30, and it's time to say goodnight. So, till next week. Peace.